Now, Ron, are you going to be out at this tryout evaluating talent? What's cracking, man? Welcome to the Petros and Money Show.
Well, great to be with you guys. Unfortunately, I have to tape the NFL matchup show over at the NFL Film Studio, so I can't make that beautiful trip out to lovely Los Angeles. The darn paying job is getting away having all the fun.
Well, talk about the soul and what's going on with arena football and how's it developing. I know there was a setback here. We had a big team in L.A., and it's gone.
Yeah, there certainly was a setback in 2009, and clearly disappointing to myself as one of the owners of the Philadelphia Soul. We had won the Arena Football League championship in the 2008 season, and we had a rock-solid team ready to repeat. Unfortunately, the league disbanded for 1 year, came back in 2009, in 10, and now it's been flourishing. There's been new teams, a new business model. In Philadelphia, we're very well received. We average about 15,000 people per game. It's an exciting game, and as I look at it, it's another opportunity for players, for coaches, administrators, trainers, and develop jobs for people. And actually, some guys, come through the Arena League and they go on to the National Football League. So it's a nice opportunity.
Well, no surprise they support you out in Philly, one of the beloved Eagles. Let them do a Super Bowl, as a matter of fact. And I guess you kind of have the connection with the walk-on because you were part of that Eagles team. That, of course, the idea of the open tryout, what was that, 76, 77 they did that in Philly?
Well, actually, Dick Vermeil ran them every year, but obviously, the guy that is most famous is Vince Papale. The movie Invincible was made after him, and the movie was, a very good depiction of what actually happened. And much like the Philadelphia Soul are going to have an open tryout camp, which is amazing. This is open to anyone that wants to try to get an opportunity to come to our training camp in Philadelphia or the Utah Blaze training camp and their head coach, Ron James. If you show up and you really look like you could be a player on Saturday, there's an opportunity. You'll be invited to a training camp. Just like Vince Papale was. He made the Eagles football team, played 4 years with the Eagles, 4 years in the NFL, and he actually made the team because Dick Vermeil found him at an open tryout camp. And we'll have one of those at Carson High School on Saturday morning.
The home of the Colts. Ron Jaworski never had to do an open tryout. Pretty big baller.
Youngstown State, man.
Yeah,
I like
big-time champion from the Philadelphia Eagles. And now, of course, on ESPN now, while Tebow has become a national sensation, Ron, can a sub-50% passer become a quality NFL quarterback?
Well, no, not in the long haul. And Tim clearly is improving. I have the advantage of working at NFL Films, and I look at just about every game every week, and I see Tebow getting better. People tend to forget this guy's only started 15 NFL games. That's not even a full complement in the regular season, and he's starting to get better. He certainly has a ways to go. He makes plays with his legs, his mobility, his strength. He needs to get his percentage of completion, way above 50%, closer to 60. But the dimensions that he brings, the leadership qualities, the ability to move outside the pocket, make plays with his legs, the spread offensive look. I mean, he has added a lot to the Denver Broncos. But clearly, he has a ways to go to be a consistent winner in the NFL.
It is an open tryout out at Carson High School this Saturday. Utah Blaze, Philadelphia Soul, one of their owners, Ron Jaworski, with us right now. Ron, it's a contrast, I should say, of styles up in San Francisco. The Niners versus the Saints. Is there a right way or a wrong way to try to win football games in this era, slinging it all over versus playing great defense and running the ball?
Yeah, it is interesting, and I think that's going to be one of the fun games to watch this weekend. And I always believe this weekend is the best weekend for football. I mean, you got Saturday, Sunday, you got great games, double headers, a lot at stake. And clearly, up in San Francisco, it's a real litmus test to me when you look at the dynamic team that the New Orleans Saints are going to bring in there with about every offensive dimension you could have, a quarterback that shattered Dan Marino's records, going up against a team that's kind of old school under Jim Harbaugh. They're going to run the football. They're not going to turn it over. They're going to play great defense. The question is, can they play good enough defense to hold New Orleans down, and can they score enough to beat them? This is really going to be a fun game to watch. Is the game still about defense, or is it now wide open offense?
That's the question, Jaws. I mean, in today's day and age, the 49ers 49ers do it a certain way, but most of these teams are pretty wide open, and we see all these records going down with Drew Brees doing his thing and Rodgers and Brady and even guys like Eli throwing the football. So in the NFL, has it just become a passing league? Would you throw for 800 a game if you played now?
Hey, and you forgot to mention Matthew Stafford in Detroit, who threw for over 5,000 yards. So, I mean, it is the numbers are going to just continue to go through the roof. You see these guys now at the college level. These guys are going to these camps now in high school. They're being trained by former professional quarterback coaches. So by the time they come to the NFL, a lot of these guys are passing game ready. And I think you're going to continue to see these numbers go through the roof. The league certainly loves the passing game. All the rules are very liberal towards the offense. And, hey, as an offensive guy, I love them, man. In my era, guys, that era was early in the 70s with the Los Angeles Rams. Don't forget that now.
Yeah.
I cut my teeth out there.
We love the
Pat
Rams.
Hayden, yeah.
But you'd run across the middle, there'd be a guy like Dick Butkus or Hacksaw Reynolds there with a forearm to your chops, and that was legal.
Right? No longer. Now you get fined $25,000.
Yeah. I mean, you touch a guy with your fingernail, it's a 5-yard penalty for impeding his ability to get down the field.
Yeah, young blood wouldn't like playing today.
No. Jack would have a tough time.
Well, again, it is out at Carson High School this weekend, Saturday, January 14th. Philadelphia Soul, Utah Blaze, and more information available at philadelphiasoul.com. Open tryout if you want to make a run for the Arena Football League.
Jaws, a real pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much. We know you don't do a lot of this.
Hey, thanks, guys. I'd love to do it again.
All right. All right.